my Hawaiian sweet rolls. They're low carb, pretty much zero carb, except for some of the little allulose that you're going to use. And I use a little bit of egg, and this is butter and cream cheese towards the end. You have to do it at the end. But I use half a cup of egg white protein powder. I'll start with that first. And I get this off Amazon. That's pretty close. Put it in the bowl. And it kind of got a little bit of a cloud to it, so be a little careful when you're using it. Dusty. And then I do about, you could do anywhere from a 1/4 cup to a 1/3 of a cup of allulose. Depends on how sweet you want it. We don't really like it that sweet, so we're a 1/4 cup family. And I don't even fill it up all the way. Just a little bit of sweetener. Now the yeast, that's up to you. It doesn't rise or anything. It's only for flavor. I've gone anywhere from a 1/4 teaspoon all the way up to 1 teaspoon. And I think 1 teaspoon's pretty good. That's just me. And you just sprinkle it on. Just dry. The cream of tartar is to help keep the stiff peaks. And you need 2 teaspoons of that. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect measuring. You just kind of throw it in there. And the salt is pretty much a 1/4 teaspoon. But you could just do it in your hand and do a pinch. It's fine. About like that. And I use, some people use xanthan gum, but we use this gelatin. And it's in a box, and they'll have individual packets. It's pretty much like a tablespoon. I'm going to see what it is. But I just use the whole packet. I think it's almost like a tablespoon. Yeah. It's real close. I don't know if you can see. So, gelatin. And you can just stir that up if you want to. Alright, next step is, this is 3 eggs, egg yolks, I'm sorry, and I use some of the whites in here, but when I make ice cream, I make egg yolk ice cream, so I end up with a lot of whites, so I save them in the fridge, and whenever I have enough, about a cup, then that's when I make these rolls. So this is a cup of egg whites, and then this I got off Amazon. It's the pineapple extract. This is kind of what gives it that Hawaiian flavor. But you don't have to use this. They're still good without it. I use about half a teaspoon of this. But you could use a teaspoon if you like it really strong. Maybe a little more. Okay. So you just dump this in here. And you can stir it or come over here to your stand mixer. You can stir it with this whisk a little bit just to get it kind of sort of going. You don't have to do this step. And then you're going to beat this till it has stiff peaks. It's usually about 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm doing this on 8. And it's already been a minute. And see how it looks. But you want stiff peaks where you could turn this upside down and it's not going to fall out the bowl. So wait for stiff peaks. Okay, here's what stiff peaks looks like. It is really on there and it's stiff. So it's probably been about 3 minutes. I did it on 8 for about 3 minutes. Okay, then you're going to add your yolks. get all my yolk out. Okay, don't do too much because you're going to mix it by hand anyway. I've learned that you can't mix in the cream cheese and the softened butter with this part. You have to do it by hand or it makes it liquidy again. Well, there's no way to get it off except that noise. Okay. So you come back over here. And this has been softened. This is, let's see, how much did I did 2 ounces of cream cheese with 3 tablespoons of butter. And I kind of semi-melted, not melted, but I softened them in the microwave till it looks about like that. So just put a few dollops here and there. And then fold that in. This keeps it from being so dry and magic erasery. Because I've done another way and they're just like a magic eraser texture. So you need this little bit of fat. But if you do too much, it'll be liquidy and it won't not rise, but they won't be like rolls. They'll be like one sheet of flat, kind of like almost like a pizza crust flat. You can still eat it. It still tastes good. It just didn't have the roll. And I hope this doesn't do it. I hope this isn't too much. Anyway, just kind of fold it in. Scrape the bottom. Once you feel like you have it folded in pretty good, and it doesn't really matter, just kind of mix it around. Then you need some sort of spray. This is avocado oil. We do have duck fat spray. I don't know why I didn't use that, but or coconut oil. You could do it with your hand. I've seen a girl do that. It was Indigo Nilly, and then this. Most of this is from Carnivore Angel. She does this, except she doesn't do the cream cheese and butter, I don't think, at the end. So she just does egg yolks. And you don't have to spray your parchment paper and your cookie sheet, but I just kind of do like this. I just spray it a little bit on my scooper. And then you're just going to take it by scoops and place it on your pan, and this is going to be your rolls. And they can be touching. It's okay that they touch. I can't remember if this makes 15. I usually get about 15, and I don't know how big this scooper is. It's just kind of a quarter cup, maybe, scooper. And most ovens, you'll want to do this at 325 for 15 minutes, but we have a small kind of apartment-sized oven, so we have to do ours 25 degrees less than other people do. So I'm cooking this at 300 for 15 minutes, and then you can open up the door and check on it, but most of the time I leave it in for another 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, at this point in the bowl, you can see you need to start scraping down. Get everything so your scooper will get it. You can see there's a little bit. It's getting liquidier. The air is coming out of the egg whites. And that last one's going to be small, but hang on. I'm going to see if I can get most of this out. See how this last bit got? So these aren't going to really, they're going to be more liquidy-like because I took a little long getting it in there. And you just put it right in the oven. Alright, 15 minutes. Okay, so this is after 15 minutes. They're golden brown. You can kind of see. And then that end, see how it flattened out? It'll get liquidy if you wait too long. But these did get a little bit less roll-like. But I use these for my daughter's lunch at school. I cut them like this will peel apart, and it'll be, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, almost 19 rolls. And she needs 10 in a week. So we almost made it for 2 weeks worth of lunches. Anyway, so there's the rolls. I usually cut them in half, and I'll put some ham, you know, in the middle, and that's little ham sandwiches for at lunch. Okay, so this is Adeline's little egg white protein rolls that I make for her lunch. So the way they just kind of come apart, they'll find where that break was. See, they just come apart. And see how they didn't stick to the parchment paper. They'll come right off. And you can just break them apart. Now, when it's time to make her a sandwich, I just find the halfway point and cut in half. And there it is. There's your bun, so to speak. And I put her ham in there. I fold it over and make her a ham sandwich. Oh, and also, this will be almost enough for 2 weeks. So these do good for a week in the refrigerator. So I will put 10 of them in here, because it's 10 for a week's worth at school. So I'll put 10 of them in here, and then I'll put the rest in here and put this in the freezer. And once it's almost school time, the night before, you know, that Sunday night before the next week, I'll take it out of the freezer and put it in the fridge. So that's how I do that.